The frustration you feel is not a sign of failure. It is the friction of a powerful consciousness attempting to manifest through an undisciplined signal. That gap between the reality you hold in your mind and the one you experience with your senses is not a void, it is a space of calibration. The mechanism for closing this gap is not a secret. It is a science. And this transmission will provide its schematic. This briefing is designed to equip you with a new operational model of reality. First, we will establish the fundamental axiom of creation, the law of the resonant field. Second, we will deconstruct the physics of coherent focus, revealing precisely why some thoughts manifest and others dissolve into energetic static. And finally, you will be given the operational strategy for sovereign transmission, the disciplined art of crystallizing intention into objective experience. The universe you perceive is not a static, indifferent stage upon which your life unfolds. It is a vast, conscious, and exquisitely sensitive resonant field. This field is not separate from you. It has no agenda of its own, no judgment, and no preference for your success or failure. Its sole function is to act as a perfect, impartial mirror, reflecting with absolute precision the dominant frequency you consistently transmit. This is the first and final law: what you are, you experience. Your reality is not happening to you, it is happening through you and as you. Every person, every event, and every circumstance that appears in your life is a harmonic match to the signal you broadcast. Think of the mundane experience of learning a new word, or noticing a specific model of car for the first time. Suddenly, you see it everywhere. The word was always there. The cars were always on the road. What changed was your internal frequency. You became attuned to it, and the resonant field of your awareness simply began to reflect that attunement back to you. This is not a coincidence, it is a law of physics. The field does not respond to what you want. It does not respond to what you hope for. It responds only to the signal of what you believe you are and what you hold as true in the sustained focus of your attention. But if the universe is a perfect mirror, why does your reflection so often seem distorted? Why is there a delay between your desire and its appearance in your world? The answer is not in the mirror, but in the clarity of the signal you are sending. Before we decode the physics of that signal, take a moment to recognize this law in your own life. This understanding of reality as a responsive, energetic field is the foundation of the work we do here. If this principle resonates, consider subscribing to join this collective of architects. Your thoughts are units of energy. Each one is a transmission, a pulse sent out into the resonant field. However, a single, fleeting thought has almost no creative power. It is like a single drop of rain in the ocean, its impact is negligible, instantly absorbed into the chaotic noise of a scattered mind. This is the energetic static that dissolves most intentions, doubt, fear, contradictory beliefs, worry, and the constant distraction of a mind pulled in 1,000 different directions. For a subjective thought to overcome this static and crystallize into objective experience, it must achieve a critical threshold of two qualities: coherence and duration. Coherence is the purity of the signal. It is a thought held without opposition. It is the feeling of a desire that is not immediately followed by the feeling of its absence. Duration is the sustained application of that coherent signal over time. Imagine trying to start a fire by briefly striking a match in a storm. The spark is there, but it is instantly extinguished. To start a fire, you must hold the flame steady and protect it from the wind until the kindling catches. Your focused attention is the steady flame. Your disciplined mind is the shelter from the storm of doubt. When a single, coherent thought is held with emotional conviction and sustained attention, it begins to vibrate at a consistent frequency. It stops being a random drop of rain and becomes a tuning fork. It organizes the chaotic energy around it, compelling the resonant field to configure reality into a pattern that matches its vibration. This is the physics of crystallization. It is not magic, it is resonance. It is the science of impressing a clear, sustained, and coherent signal upon the responsive substance of the universe until it takes form. Understanding the physics of focus is one part of the equation. But knowledge without application is merely data. The next step is to move from a theoretical understanding to a disciplined practice. How, then, do you generate a signal so coherent and so sustained that reality has no choice but to conform? The ultimate strategy is to move from being a passive receiver of your own mental chaos to becoming a sovereign transmitter. A sovereign does not beg the universe for a reality. A sovereign decides upon a reality and transmits the frequency of its existence until the field conforms. This is achieved through the disciplined practice of choosing and embodying a single, prime frequency, as your core assignment. This is not about thinking positive or fighting negative thoughts. Fighting a thought gives it energy. Instead, this is an act of supreme focus. You deliberately choose one core state of being you wish to embody, for instance, the frequency of unshakable peace, or sovereign provision, or creative clarity. This becomes your assignment. This becomes the note you are here to hold. Throughout your day, your mind will generate thousands of thoughts, broadcasts from other stations, that contradict this prime frequency. Your task is not to battle them. Your task is to notice them, release them without judgment, and gently, persistently, return your attention to your chosen frequency. It is the work of tuning a radio. You are not trying to destroy all the other stations, you are simply choosing to lock onto one. Every time you return to your prime frequency, you are strengthening its signal. You are building its duration. You are purifying its coherence. This act, repeated hundreds of times a day, is the work. It transforms your inner world from a field of static into a powerful, coherent broadcast tower. This is how you architect reality from the inside out. You select your transmission, and you hold the line. The great work of your life is not to manipulate the outside world, but to achieve mastery over your inner broadcast. Let us now integrate this transmission. The universe is not a collection of objects, but a conscious, mental field that is designed to mirror your dominant state of being. Your reality crystallizes not from fleeting wishes, but from the signals that achieve a critical mass of coherence and duration. You achieve this state not by fighting the chaos of the mind, but by strategically choosing one prime frequency and making its embodiment your sole assignment. You now understand the mechanism. You have been given the operational physics. You are not a pawn of fate or a victim of circumstance. You are a sovereign broadcasting station, and this transmission is the manual for its control. Your assignment is to select one prime frequency to embody for the next 24 hours. Observe the internal resistance. Observe the external shifts. In the comments below, share one word that defines the frequency you are choosing to transmit. This is not for validation, but for declaration. Your declaration adds coherence to the collective field.